How are you guys doing today? Johnny Guns Investigation, Wednesday, October 25th. Good to be back. Hope you guys are enjoying your Wednesday and this beautiful week we're having. What a week. Getting close to Halloween. All the decorations are out there in the neighborhoods and everything lit up for the kids. And I hope you guys are enjoying it. So what we have tonight is we got something that I really enjoy doing for the people is a cold case. Finally, a solved murder to where the parents, the mom, the loved ones can finally have closure and sleep better at night. And this goes way back. This goes back to 2005, um, almost 18 years ago. I'm sorry, 20 years ago. 20 years ago already on this case. And, when our kids go to school and they graduate and they're anywhere between 17 and 18 years old, and it's a great start of life. And a lot of the kids want to go away for their senior celebration and their senior trip, just to celebrate just before they're going back to college. Just to go out and have some fun. And so here you have a group of girls getting together at 17 and 18-year-olds, planning a senior trip. Parents are finally saying, okay, you guys can go. So the kids are excited, and it's going to be their first trip away. They don't have their parents there. They get to just be them. And they're going to enjoy the beautiful pink sand, the aqua green waters, and the tropical weather of Aruba. What a vacation. The only thing in your mind is you can't wait to get there. You can't wait to maybe meet a nice romantic guy to walk the beach with and have a good time with your friends, and whatever happens. Whatever happens good is what's in your mind. So we have a young lady who did that on her 18th. She's 18 years old, graduating high school, goes on your senior trip to Aruba with her friends. Uh, January 17th, 2005. So they go on their trip. Natalie Holloway. Finally get there. The girls are enjoying their weekend, going out, having some fun on the beach, getting some sun, and just enjoying what Aruba has to offer. Just such a beautiful place. And she meets this guy. She meets a 19-year-old that she thinks is a gentleman, okay, because he's playing the cards, okay. And she meets this guy, and she's talking to him that day, and then they make some plans to go do a nice little romantic walk on the beach and watch the sunset, because he's from the area. And then we have Natalie Holloway, who's 18 years old, okay. Her dad and her mom. Her mom is Elizabeth. Her dad is Edward, who let her go on this trip, who were very nervous to let her go alone. Well, even with her friends, definitely nervous. Natalie, a great girl, lives in Alabama, just enjoying life. So she's over there in Aruba, and she meets Joran van der Slot, a 19-year-old boy who she thinks is charming, good looking, just a good looking guy to go and walk the beach in Aruba and put your feet in the pink sand. Okay. Unfortunately, this guy is from Peru, and he has murder charges, a simple battery, robbery, drug trafficking, extortion, and now get this, people, you ready? And wire fraud. These are charges that he has in Peru that's pending sentencing trials and him going to jail. So he's a murderer already. So she's walking the beach, this beautiful Natalie Holloway, an 18-year-old, at night, watching the beautiful sunset, walking the beach with this animal. Little does she know, she's walking with a murderer. So they're walking the beach. He starts to get flirty with Natalie, okay? She takes it in. She takes it a little bit, but it's getting worse. It's getting worse. She asks him to please stop. That's not what she's here for. She's just here for a nice walk on the beach. He doesn't like that. So he changes 100%. He changes. So this piece of crap, he states that he bludgeoned her with a cinder block that he found walking along this beautiful Aruba beach. There's a cinder block. And he said he beat her in the skull until he beat her to death, okay? This is crazy. Beautiful Natalee Holloway enjoying a senior trip with her friends in Aruba, meets this guy walking down the beach, pink, beautiful sand, aqua green water. He plunges her with a cinder block. Then he says he takes her body into the water, into knee-deep water. Okay, now let's get this. Knee-deep water in the ocean. Lets her body go to sea and never seen again. Now, he admits this now. We're going to hear it. We have it on tape. We have his confession on tape. And then I want you to tell me what you all think. And I'll tell you what I think. And there's no alleged and there's no nothing. This guy is a murderer. He's charged for murder. He's admitting to the murder of Natalee Holloway. I just don't believe. Now, hold on. I forgot. He's working on a plea deal. If he admits to everything and he's the murderer, and everybody knew he was, but he never admitted, okay? No body found. A judge did announce that Natalee Holloway declared dead at that time, even with no body. A judge did declare her dead, but just not knowing where, when, how, or what the closure was. So for 20 years, her parents had to go with that, okay? Her mom's 77 years old today. Very, very happy woman today. I mean, not fully, but she has closure, and she does say she can sleep at night finally. And that's what the most important thing on these investigation stories is, finding closure. We can hear and we can see all these different crimes and all these terrible things happen, but we need the closure. Okay, that it does help a family more than you'll ever know. So he admits to all this, and we have it on tape. Okay, we have Court TV, my favorite. We're going to watch a video, and then we'll go over everything on how this animal murdering scumbag says what he did to this high school graduate at 18 years old, just starting life. Okay, so let's go ahead and watch this video, and let's see what we can do.
When high school teenager Natalee Holloway disappeared in Aruba in 2005, it became a huge story. Media from around the country and around the world descended onto the island as investigators tried to solve the mystery. Natalee's family was desperate for an answer, and much of the focus was on one person, Joran Vandersloot. Vandersloot met Natalee at a local bar called Carlos and Charlie's. She left with Joran and another man named Deepak Kalpo. Deepak was driving and dropped Natalee and Joran off near a hotel beach. From there, what happened next remained a mystery. Natalee's mother was so desperate to find out what happened, she agreed to pay Joran money for the answers to her questions of what happened to Natalee and where are her remains. Joran got paid, but did not give truthful information to Natalee's mom. He was subsequently charged with extortion in the United States, and today he pleaded guilty to the extortion charges on the condition that he finally answer Natalee's mother's questions truthfully. Tonight, we are live from the federal courthouse in Alabama with all the news from the courtroom and the shocking and heartbreaking details about Natalee's death straight from the mouth of her killer.
Are you overwhelmed by your payday loan debt? Have you taken out multiple loans and struggling to pay them back?
Back to the video.
I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments, and the information you are going to hear in this hour, we've been waiting 18 years for. 18 years for an answer to the mystery of what happened to Natalee Holloway. So let's go back, 2005. Natalee Holloway goes to Aruba. It's a class trip. It's supposed to be a fun trip to Aruba. A way to celebrate the end of high school with friends. Sunshine, going out, meeting people, doing what kids do, right? It was supposed to be fun. It was supposed to just be fun. It turned into something completely different. Actually turned into the nation's biggest true crime mystery ever. And when I say nation, I mean Aruba. It was the biggest they'll ever have. And at the time, it was the biggest right here in the United States of America as well, as everyone wanted to know what happened to Natalee and who was responsible. And there were rumors and stories and conjecture and journalists and investigators all over that island trying to dig up any information, any evidence on the case, and then it just lingered. But all through, one person was always a suspect, Jeroen van der Sloot, always a suspect. And, you know, quietly, I think everyone said, yeah, he did it. But the question was like, what exactly happened and what did he do with Natalee, right? I think all along, as a suspect, everyone believed this was the guy. Then when he committed another murder, it became even more obvious that this was the guy. So today, he's in the United States of America because of the extortion charges where he extorted money from Natalee's mother, saying, yeah, I'll tell you what happened and I'll tell you where you can find her if you give me this money. Well, he got the money and he gave bogus information, got charged with extortion. He's in Peru. Peru extradited him here to the United States. So today was all about him pleading guilty to the extortion charges, but as a condition of all of that, answering those questions for Natalee's family. And today, I hope, was some level of justice for Beth Holloway.
Definitely.
Some level of justice.
For sure.
I never used the closure word. You know, that doesn't happen. But for victims, if you don't have a trial, at least an answer, what happened, who's responsible, so I can at least turn the page on this. And I think that's the most that we can hope for. But it took a long time to get here, a long, long time. So let's take a listen to what happened today. It was inside a federal courtroom, so there are no cameras permitted inside there. But when it was over, Natalee's mom came out with some others and they spoke.
Today, I can tell you with certainty that after 18 years, Natalee's case, it's solved. As far as I'm concerned, it's over. It's over. Jeroen van der Sloot is no longer the suspect in my daughter's murder. He is the killer. In the course of his felony prosecution, here for extortion and wire fraud indictment, he gave a proffer in which he finally confessed that he killed Natalee. He described when and how he killed her. And he said that after killing her on the beach in Aruba, he put her into the water, and that was the last that he ever saw her. That was all verified by a comprehensive and conclusive polygraph test. Even with this confession, though, he can't be tried here for Natalee's murder. But I'm satisfied knowing that he did it alone, and he disposed of her alone. I won't give you the details of his brutal confession. Those will be forthcoming when the proffer is made public. You will also have details of the plea agreement, which was reached, his sentence of the extortion, and the wire fraud will run concurrently with a sentence in Peru for killing Stephanie Flores. And that's fine with me. Thanks to a lot of very smart and dedicated people here, I got the answer I've been searching for the past 18 years. Jeroen van der Sloot's confession means we have finally reached the end of our never-ending nightmare. And for me, reaching the end of the nightmare, being over is better than closure. It's been 18 years since Natalee disappeared, and Natalee would be 36 years old today. I still miss her every day.
Probably a mom and a wife.
It's been a very long and painful journey, but we finally got the answers we've been searching for all these years. We finally, today, we got justice for Natalie. So thank you all so very much and being supportive of us in our long 18-year journey. Thank you.
Amazing strength, that family, through all these years, but able to smile today. And that's good news. That's good news. Everything she said right there, talking about getting some sense of justice. And I say it all the time for victims' families when we cover trials here on Court TV. If the jury comes back and says not guilty, the victims are left empty. Like, I didn't even get justice. I didn't get the answer. But today she did get the answer. Yes. And Natalie's family got the answer. Okay, let's bring in Court TV legal correspondent Chanley Painter, who is there and is joining us live from outside the courthouse in Birmingham, Alabama. Chanley, great to see you. I want to begin speaking about the family here, and let's start with Beth and Natalie. This relationship, this mother trying so desperately to get justice for her daughter. Incredible strength there, and understand you got to speak with her as well.
I did, Vinny. You're right. Beth Holloway is an inspiring tower of strength, grace, and determination. It was an honor to meet her in person and to sit down with her after she learned what she'd been fighting to hear for 18 years. She told me, Vinny, that she's pleased with the plea agreement that prosecutors were able to reach with Vandersloot's defense, and she believes his confession. But she says this is over for her. Let's take a listen.
It's over. The never-ending nightmare is over, and for me, it's better than closure. And everybody has their own words that they use, but that is mine. Over, to me, is better than closure. That's my nightmare, and it was a never-ending nightmare. I was never going to get out of the weeds. I was never going to get out of the rabbit holes, but it's over now. It's done. I feel pretty victorious right now. I'm feeling like we've accomplished something that we set out for 18 years ago. So it's a huge weight is lifted. So it feels great. It's over now. Her murder has been solved. Joran Vandersloot is no longer the suspect in Natalie's disappearance. Joran Vandersloot is the murderer. He's the murderer. He's the killer of Natalie. So that is now giving me that never-ending nightmare being over. I think right now what I miss most about her is she would be married. She would be a doctor by now, I have no doubt. She would have children.
Sure.
And Vinny, I was also able to speak with Natalie's brother, Matt Holloway, in one of his rare camera interviews. He had some strong sentiments to say about Joran Vandersloot. Let's watch. Did you believe what he had to say?
I personally didn't.
No.
He's been such a liar.
Yes, I don't believe
the past, his whole life. That's all he is. It's just a psychopathic liar. So I take it lightly. I mean, I believe he can. His confession. That's what we've been hoping for so long, for him to actually admit that. Everything, all the confessions that he made, did it all for himself, and he forgot about one thing, and that was me. So he will be seeing me again when he thinks he's a free man.
Good job.
The government is inflating away your retirement savings.
Get rid of this commercial.
Here's how to stop them.
Give me one second.
If you're over 55
Here
years
we
of age.
go. Back on.
Vinny, he wanted to say that he might get in trouble, but Joran, he forgot one thing today. That's when he's free in 22 years. Matt's going to be in Peru waiting on him.
Good.
Wow.
And I hope he is.
Wow.
And he gets to
All
live
right, so
life
let's get
again.
to
Sad.
some of the specifics here about what did Joran say in this confession of his.
He was graphic and revealing. We were able to learn tidbits during the hearing, Vinny, from Ms. Holloway and the judge, but we received an actual transcript of the proffer that took place 3 weeks ago with the FBI, with the prosecutors, with the Holloway family watching in real time. Here's a portion of what Joran told the authorities about Natalie's murder. He said, I lay her down. We laid down together in the sand. This is after they left that bar. We start kissing each other. I get her to kiss me again. We start kissing each other, he says. I start feeling her up. She tells me no. She tells me she doesn't want me to fill her up. He insists. He says I keep filling her up either way. Then Natalie knees him in the crotch, he says.
Which she should
So
have
he
done.
gets up and kicks her extremely hard in the face. She's laying down, he says, unconscious, possibly even dead at that point. Right next to her, there's a huge cinder block laying on the beach. He says he sees that cinder block and he takes it and smashes her head in with it completely. He goes on to reveal that her face was basically collapsed in. And even though it was dark there on the beach, he could tell that she was dead. So he says afterwards, I don't know exactly, but he's scared, he says. He then decides to put her in the ocean. So I grab her and I half pull and half walk with her into the ocean
Just
and
puts her to
push
sea, never
her
seen
off,
again.
he says.
Right?
Now, when I asked Beth Holloway about this confession and hearing it for the first time, Vinny, she said, of course, it was painful to watch, but she was proud that her daughter fought
You're
back.
darn right. Need him right where we say to do it.
That was the first thing that struck me as well.
Always fight.
That she fought back.
Always. Good girl.
What was it like
Natalie Holloway.
inside that courtroom?
Vinny, I've never really felt anything like it. I've been working for Court TV for almost 5 years in dozens of courtrooms. This was a moment where, first, it's a packed house, of course, media from all over the world. 5 rows of family and friends of the Holloway family, including Beth, Natalie's father, her brother. Joran Vandersloot surprised everyone entering 10 minutes early before the actual hearing started. And he walks in, he's in his jailhouse orange, Shelby County Jail, big letters on the back of his garb.
Look at him in prison.
He's confident. His shoulders are back, his chest is out, his chin is up. He smiles, he greets his attorneys, he shakes their hands, whispers back and forth, and then sits down. He's tall, he towers above all of his defense team there. Inside the courtroom, he had some stubble, like he was not freshly shaven in the face, had gained some weight, of course. But he did choose to speak and give a statement. He spoke with an accent, as you know, and he had an opportunity to say something. He stood, Vinny, and he apologized. Here's a paraphrase of what he said shortly in the courtroom. He did glance over to the Holloway family before he started talking, and he started by saying, I want to take this chance to apologize to the Holloway family and to my own family. He went on to say that he hopes this statement provides his proffer, meaning his confession, provides some closure to the Holloway family. And he went on to say that he's no longer the same person, Vinny, that he was 18 years ago.
And he's saying that because he's
had
married
given
now.
his
He got
heart to
married while he
Jesus
was in
Christ.
jail. Can you believe this?
And his voice waned off a bit. I couldn't hear what else he said because those around me, I was sitting by family and friends of Natalie Holloway, they started rumbling in their seats, rolling their eyes at each other. They couldn't believe what he was saying, that he had found God and he was a new man today.
Doesn't matter.
But he wasn't the only one to speak. Of course, Beth Holloway took the opportunity to deliver her victim impact statement in front of the courtroom, Vinny. She stood, she walked up to the podium, but paused right in front of Joran and looked directly at him in the eye for about a second or two, and then turned towards the judge and read her statement. Here's part, and this is paraphrasing what she told the judge and Joran. She spoke directly to him. She says, Joran, for 18 years, you lied to us about killing my daughter. Your lies and fake news caused indescribable pain and grief. Now you're guilty for trying to sell me her remains. And she would repeat, you are a killer. You didn't get what you wanted from my daughter, your sexual satisfaction, so you brutally killed her. She went on to say that we do have one thing in common, Joran. You have a daughter. I had one, but mine is no longer here. She said, what if your daughter was Natalie? What if you were me and someone bludgeoned her body and then got off on porn? What would you want to do to that person? And Beth said, I would want to kill him. Vinny, I couldn't see the front of Euron's face sitting in the gallery, but I could
He has
see
a daughter.
his profile in the back of him.
Because he has those visits in
And
jail. And
he
got
would,
his wife
when
pregnant.
Beth mentioned his daughter, that's when I noticed him grab his orange shirt and he would wipe his face. He did it at least twice while she was talking. But my standout moment from her statement in the courtroom was when she suddenly paused what she was saying, turned to him and said, "By the way, you look like hell. And I don't know how you're going to get through this." And the courtroom erupted. All the supporters laughed and agreed with her.
Amazing day. Amazing day. Everyone is so glad. We are so glad that Natalie's mom had that moment, because afterwards we saw that smile. So it's some level of this weight has been lifted from her and from her family. Although, as her brother said, as Natalie's brother said, he doesn't forget.
Never will forget.
So let's talk about this plea and what it means. So how much time, where is he going to serve it? And now that he's confessed to the murder, will he face charges for that murder?
It doesn't look like it. And Beth Holloway says she's okay if he never does. This is what was agreed to between the prosecution and the defense. They agreed, of course, if he was truthful, if he passed this polygraph and provided this information to the Holloway family, that he would serve 20 years for his extortion and wire fraud charges, which is 240 months. That is the maximum, and it departs upwardly from the federal statute guidelines for sentencing here. So the judge mentioned that several times. But again, Euron agreed to that because it's going to run concurrent with his Peruvian term. He's already serving murder, confessed murder of Stephanie Flores for 28 years there in Peru. So he has 22 more years to serve for both this and the murder of Stephanie Flores in Peru. When he's released, he will have 3 years of supervised probation. He has to pay back Beth Holloway that $25,000+ that she sent him in 2010, hoping he would be truthful then when he lied to her. Another condition, he agreed that he wouldn't appeal this, but also the prosecution, the government here, can never use what he confessed to against him, Benny.
Okay. Well, he couldn't be charged with murder in the United States anyway. Didn't happen here. They don't have jurisdiction.
Right.
Shanley Painter, amazing reporting today. So glad you were there.
Awesome.
Court TV legal correspondent. We will speak again. Thanks so much.
Okay, guys, that was a
All right, folks, when we come back, we're going to dive.
Unreal. That's what I like. But you know, this guy, at that time being 19 years old, Natalie 18 years old, what a scumbag. This Euron deserves to be serving a life sentence and never see the light of day again. But unfortunately, he'll be out in 22 years. And now Natalie's brother said he'll be in Peru waiting for him. And I hope he is, because, you know, like they said, it's not closure, but it is closure. It is a way where they know that he did finally admit it, okay? He admitted that he finally murdered her daughter, beautiful Natalie, and he put her into the ocean and did set her body off to sea. And if that's true, that is a peaceful way for her. I hate to say that, but at least it's a peaceful thing, you know? But I don't believe him. Just like the brother said, I don't believe him. I don't think it all worked out that way. But did he murder her? Did he bludgeon her? Yes, but other things did happen. Other things happened, but we don't want to even know. So as long as the mom is able to know the fact that her daughter was murdered by this animal, then there you go. And he's married, and he got married in the Peru prison. He has his daughter. He had a child while he's serving time. It's crazy. I don't think that should ever happen. He shouldn't have the enjoyments and pleasure of life knowing you're taking somebody else's. He should be suffering. But anyway, everybody, it's a Wednesday, October 25th. It's a beautiful day, beautiful night. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's just a terrible thing, but as long as the mom is happy at 77 years old, she'll be able to sleep better, you know? So everybody remember, enjoy your night. Always know where your kids are. Make sure you tell your kid you love them every day. And you guys be safe out there. Johnny Guns Investigation. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and I'll bring you as much as I can. I'm back, trying to get on every night again. You guys have a great Wednesday evening. See you guys.